Let's begin a session with praise to Prabhupada and Lord Krishna. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharini Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Ganadhara Shri Pasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare Shri Shri Radha Vrindavan Chandrodaya Mandir Shri Yudhisthira Shri Prabhupada Jai. We have been discussing on a very special topic from this book called Science of Self-Realization. The topic is on the appearance of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Today will be our concluding session on this topic, and we are going to summarize what all we have discussed in previous sessions, and also in today's session we will try to understand the real purpose of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's appearance. So all these discussions are happening by the inspiration of His Divine Grace, the founder Acharya of the Hare Krishna movement worldwide, which is also known as Iskcon. So Prabhupada has given so wonderful teachings to all of us that simply reading them, trying to understand them, and following whatever best possible, we will be delivered from this material world. That is the power of Prabhupada's instructions. And we can see this practically happening all over the world. And people from different walks of life, different nationalities, different backgrounds, are all following the teachings of Prabhupada and benefiting immensely. So let's summarize, or rather take a short recap on what we have understood so far in this chapter. First, we understood on who is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is also known as the Golden Avatar, because Krishna can appear in any of the 4 different colors as per the Srimad Bhagavatam. Either he can appear in red color, yellow color, black, or white. Right? So in the previous Yuga, Dwapara Yuga, Krishna appeared in black color. And in the other 2 Yugas, Satya Yuga and Treta Yuga, Krishna already had appeared in white and red colors. The one color which was pending was yellow. So Krishna appeared in yellow color. It's also golden color. That's why Krishna in this incarnation is known as the Golden Avatara. And specifically, this Golden Avatara has wonderful, bodily complexion. Was born in, he appeared. Krishna is not born in that way. He appears. He appeared in a place by name Nadia, Mayapur, around 120 kilometers from Kolkata. And this is Krishna himself, son of Nanda, Yashoda, Vasudeva, Devaki, appeared 500 years ago. And his appearance has been very nicely described in the scriptures, especially Srimad Bhagavatam describes his appearance as Krishna Varnam Tvisha Akrishnam. Very nice description is there. What is this incarnation of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? Golden Avatar. Krishna Varnam. Krishna Varnam means he is always glorifying Krishna. So Krishna appeared as a devotee of Krishna. And he is Varnayati means he is describing, glorifying about Krishna. Then Krishna Varnam Tvisha Akrishnam. Just now we discussed the word Krishna basically also means black color or the color of a cloud. Cloud, which is a rainy cloud. That is the color of Krishna. Right? So his complexion is not black. That's why it means Krishna. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is glorifying Krishna as a devotee of Krishna. His color is not blackish. His different color. It is golden. Krishna Varnam, Disha Krishnam, Sango Pangastra Parshad. One more feature of this incarnation is that he is accompanied by his associates, different devotees, always. Whenever you see Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, you always see accompanied by many, many devotees, associates. His main associates are Nityananda Prabhu, Advaita Prabhu, Gadadhara Prabhu, and Srivasa Prabhu. These 5 personalities are called Pancha Tattva. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Krishna himself. Nityananda Prabhu is Balaram. So Krishna Balaram appeared as Chaitanya and Nityananda. And Advaita Prabhu is Mahavishnu, who is responsible for creation of this material world. Mahavishnu is again one of the plenary expansions of Krishna. Gadadhara Prabhu is Radharani's incarnation. And Srivasa is the incarnation of Narada Muni. So like this, the 5 tattvas appeared. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu comes with his associates. Whenever Krishna comes down, he comes with his all different devotees. Likewise, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he appeared, Krishna himself appeared. He came with Balaram, Mahavishnu, Radharani, Narada Muni, and all the other associates. Okay. So Krishna Varanam, Visha Krishnam, Sango Pangasta Parshadam. And what is the type of religion he preached in this Kali Yuga? Yagnai Sankirtana Prayar. This statement, what I'm making, is from Bhagavatam, one specific statement telling about the different wonderful features of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, different qualities of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He is describing Krishna as a devotee of Krishna. His bodily color is not of Krishna, it is Krishna, which means it is not blackish, it is yellowish. And he is accompanied by his associates. And he is performing a type of religion of this age known as Sankirtana Yajna. Sankirtana means, we have understood, some yak kirtana. Together, you start glorifying Krishna. That is called Sankirtana. With many people together, Samyak Kirtayati is Sankirtana. So this is what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is doing. And who will worship Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? It is mentioned in the Bhagavatam that Yajnais Sankirtana Praya Sumedasaha Yajante Sumedasaha. One who is having good sense, good brains, he will worship. And to worship Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is not difficult at all. Simply have his photo and chant Hare Krishna mantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So this is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Just see. So nice, so wonderful. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, worship him, and what will happen? By worshipping Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, you will get delivered from this material world. You will no more come under the cycle of birth and death. That is the feature of any incarnation who comes to deliver all the living entities. We also understood the meaning of the word avatar in our previous session. Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita says, when he descends, why does he descend? Avatar basically means one who comes down from spiritual realm. Any incarnation or any personality from spiritual world, especially Krishna himself coming, or he's sending his pure devotees from spiritual world, is all actually incarnations, avatars. Right? There are different types of avatars. So, what is the purpose of avatar? Krishna explains 3 purposes are there. One is to deliver his devotees in the material world and to vanquish the demons. Paritranaya sadhuna vinashaya cha dushrita. And Third reason is to re-establish the principles of religion. This is the main purpose of any incarnation. Okay. But whether Krishna comes personally or he sends his different expansions or he sends his different representatives. It's like we have Jesus Christ, who is known as Son of God. He came as Son of God to deliver all the living entities here, to protect his devotees, to and kill the killing in the sense that correcting the wrongdoings of his different followers, like this. With Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, these three purposes are also achieved. How? Because as Kali Yuga is progressing, the tendency to commit sinful activities is increasing. So people are developing a lot of or too much of demoniac type of a tendency, demonic mentality. So Krishna coming as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he has come as a very merciful incarnation to just kill our demoniac mentality. So worshipping Chaitanya Mahaprabhu by chanting Hare Krishna actually is going to kill our demoniac mentality and awaken our the quality of our devotion to Krishna, which is already there in our existence, and take us on the right path of Dharma. Otherwise, we are all misled, doing so many things which we are also not aware. Which direction we are going, we are not aware. So this is the main reason, the purpose of any incarnation. And also we understood in our discussions that an avatar cannot be accepted whimsically on the basis of some votes. Nowadays, it's become very common that anybody who claims himself to be an avatar, or anybody who concocts, this person can avatar, or manufactured, or if we select somebody during our elections, or you become our president, prime minister, not like that. Avatar cannot be selected or elected. Avatar is a personality who is descending from spiritual world, especially Krishna himself, or Krishna's various expansions, or various other pure devotees who are descending based on Krishna's orders. So, avatar, basically, the mention of avatars are very specifically given in the scriptures and different times when they're going to appear. So, avatar is not that anybody can claim anytime, I am an avatar. The reference of the avatars will be always in the scriptures. There are different examples Prabhupada gives. It's like Bhagavatam was written 5,000 years ago, but there is a mention of the reference of incarnation of Lord Buddha. Buddha appeared around 2,600 years ago. When incarnation will come, who will be his father and mother, and what his various purposes and mission is all described very in detail in Bhagavad and other scriptures. And especially there's one incarnation called Kalki Avatar, which is going to appear towards the end of Kali Yuga. Kali Yuga has just begun, only 5,000 years over. But towards the end of Kali Yuga, one more incarnation of Kalki will come. And where he will come, who will be his father, mother, everything is described in detail. So based on this authenticity of scriptures, we accept Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as incarnation. Different scriptures like Vedas, Upanishads, Mahabharata, and various other authentic scriptures are giving reference of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's appearance. So the incarnations cannot be simply whimsically somebody proclaiming that I am incarnation. We cannot accept that. First and foremost, you should ask them, what is your reference or which scriptures describe about your incarnation? Please tell us. Right? And specifically, when you come to the point of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's incarnation, why did he appear? And he appeared as a very, very merciful incarnation, munificent incarnation of Lord Krishna. Why did Krishna come in this way? Towards the end of Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is, in fact, making a very bold statement that you surrender to me, giving up all other different activities you're doing, different type of so-called other dharmas you're following, give up and just surrender to me. Sarva dharman parityajya. Krishna assures that if you do this, I will relieve you from all sinful activities. Actually, our present situation of taking bodies, different material bodies, is because of our different action-reaction cycles, sins which we have committed. Whatever different types of bodies we have in the entire material creation, starting from Brahma Loka, Indra Loka, different devatas and humans and other species of life, is all actually because of the sinful actions which the living entities have performed as spirit souls, and because of which they are getting different bodies. So when Krishna says, you surrender to me, I will deliver you, I will relieve you from all sinful reactions, it's a fact. Krishna assures, don't worry, surrender to me. But what happened is that after Lord Krishna disappeared, there were many so-called scholars and other so-called spiritualists who misunderstood the meaning, or rather the statement of Lord Krishna, and started concocting and manufacturing their own ways. So Krishna had to again come. Lord Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, again and again I keep coming to correct the situation in the material world with regard to people drifting away from religious path. So Krishna again had to come as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. This time he appeared as a devotee of Krishna, and he's personally teaching, demonstrating how to surrender to Krishna. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is not teaching anything new. He is teaching the same principles, same teachings what Krishna had taught us in the previous ages. That is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's specific reason why he came. He came to teach the same thing, surrender to Krishna. Otherwise, you'll be suffering in the material world. You have to get a spiritual body. Spiritual body means we have a spiritual body, it is right now covered. We have to revive that spiritual body. Spiritual body means there is no more birth, no more death, no more old age, no more disease. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has come to give us this understanding that by chanting Hare Krishna mantra, by following the Sankirtana process, you will revive your spiritual existence and return back to spiritual world. And he's doing this in such a simple manner, such a very easy manner that anybody can follow. That's why it's called the most merciful incarnation, munificent incarnation. So merciful that whether you have qualification, no qualification, whether you want to do, don't want to do, simply chant Hare Krishna or hear Hare Krishna, you'll be moving forward in your spiritual progress, spiritual path. That is the mercy, special mercy Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is giving us in this age of Kali Yuga. So that's why it's called the most munificent incarnation. Further, we also understood Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has been teaching us this whole process by this Yuga Dharma of Kali Yuga known as Hari Kirtana, Harinama Sankirtana. In the previous ages, like Satya Yuga, Dwapara, Treta, there were different recommendations for God realization, because human life is meant for God realization. So in the Satya Yuga, people used to perform meditation and achieve God realization. And in Treta Yuga, they used to perform yajna, different elaborate, yajnas, rituals, sacrifices, and they used to achieve God realization. In Dwapar Yuga, they used to build huge temples and establish various worship of the different deity form of Krishna in various incarnations, and then achieve God realization. In Kali Yuga, the other three processes of previous yugas is not very practical for everybody to follow. Either meditation or performing yajnas or elaborate temple worship is not practical for everybody. So in Kali Yuga, you can sit wherever you are, you can be wherever you are, you just chant Hare Krishna mantra in front of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. That is the process of Sankirtana, process of Yuga Dharma, or the process of self-realization for Kali Yuga. Just see. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu practically inaugurated this religion of this age. He's teaching us the religion for this age, that is Harinama Sankirtana. Harer Nama, Harer Nama, Harer Nama Iva Kevalam. And why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu introduced this, such a simple method, is because presently we are seeing the present civilization is so mad after self-gratification. Even if you tell them that your human form of life is meant for this purpose, that, for God realization, you're supposed to lead a life of austerity, lead a life of purity. Nothing goes in our brains. Like Prabhupada's personal example, you can see. Prabhupada, when he went to America in the year 1965, that time there was a movement going on in America known as hippie movement. There were a lot of youth who had going against the established orthodox way of living, from the way the parents were having their life. They were just doing things totally against with regard to taking drugs or getting into relationship with other opposite sex. No responsibility. They had come out of their colleges like this. They were living a very free life. They called hippie movement. So Prabhupada Prabhupada landed in America at this point of time, when there was a counter-culture going on. So Prabhupada knew telling them anything about following rules, regulations, and all these things is highly impossible. What did Prabhupada do? He just followed Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's instruction of chanting Hare Krishna. Prabhupada used to go to a park known as Tompkins Square Park in New York. He used to sit there for 2-3 hours and just chant Hare Krishna mantra, do Sankirtana. They're all young youth, all loitering here and there in the park. They used to come and simply participate. So by hearing from a pure devotee chanting Hare Krishna and participating in the Kirtana, slowly their heart was becoming cleansed. They were getting purified. And they started following Prabhupada and started hearing what Prabhupada is talking. That's how Prabhupada started his movement. Prabhupada says, I started this movement by chanting Hare Krishna. This movement is called Hare Krishna movement. Why? Because the whole purpose of Prabhupada starting this movement was to just make people chant. If you chant Hare Krishna, everything begins. Because that is the process. Somehow you have to decide to chant Hare Krishna mantra. Very important principle we have to understand. Prabhupada said, I went to your country to just start make you chant Hare Krishna mantra. So in that way, Prabhupada's whole purpose of starting this movement was to slowly purify the people. The defect of modern civilization is that people are just running for sense gratification, forgetting the purpose of life. And what does this sense gratification finally end in? Repeated birth and death. There is no other result of this. So Prabhupada just introduced chanting Hare Krishna so people can be saved. Hare Kirtana is the only remedy, right? Prabhupada said, by chanting, one will have God realization, ultimately love of God. So in fact, Prabhupada made a very nice statement elsewhere. He said that chanting is the means, chanting is the end. Right? You start chanting Hare Krishna mantra, you begin chanting, and finally you have to go on chanting. That is what our Atma is. Atma's nature is this. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, Jivera Swarupa Nitya Krishna Dasa. The living entity's real spiritual nature is to act as a devotee of Krishna. And a devotee of Krishna, what does he do? He is always glorifying Krishna. Manmana bhava madbhakto madhyaji mam. This is what a devotee of Krishna is doing. So we have to understand a significance of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's movement. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, why did he appear? And the significant, wonderful contribution in our fallen condition in this Kali Yuga. Kali Yuga is considered to be a very degraded age, wherein people are not interested in self-realization or spiritual understanding, spiritual progress. People are always confused. People are having very unfortunate situations here, always disturbed. This situation in the present Kali Yuga. So Krishna appearing as a special incarnation of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to just deliver us from this very, very deplorable condition. That's why it's called a very munificent incarnation. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu specifically made one statement from scriptures. Harer Nama, Harer Nama, Harer Namaiva Kevalam, Kalo Nastyeva, Nastyeva, Nastyeva Gatiranyat. There is no other way, there is no other way, there is no other way. Only way is chanting Hare Krishna mantra. People may think, oh, I'll do some meditation, I'll go to Himalayas, I will do some study of scriptures, I will do some yoga. All that is not going to work. Maybe few can get some advantage benefit of it, but general mass of people cannot follow this. And Prabhupada demonstrated it practically. How he went country to country, traveling across the world at least 12 times during his manifest presence. And he preached this message of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to everybody. And that's how we are seeing many, many people following the principles of chanting Hare Krishna mantra. When you start chanting, the whole miracle starts. And people are trying to understand the purpose of life by reading Bhagavad Gita, by chanting Hare Krishna mantra. So Hari Kirtana is the only remedy, and by chanting, you will ultimately develop love of God, which is the purpose of human form of life. And Prabhupada also was mentioning to us, what is our real problem? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has given us 8 instructions. 8 instructions is known as Shiksha Ashtaka. 8 teachings he has given us in writing. He did not write anything else other than this, because all the other instructions he has instructed to his principal associates and devotees called as Goswamis, and they have written a lot of literatures based on Vedic understanding. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's first instruction is that when you chant Hare Krishna mantra, what happens is that your heart, which is filled with so many unwanted thoughts, unwanted desires, plans, is all purified, which means you will not have any such drives. Oh, I want to enjoy like this, I want to do this, I have this plan for my life. All those things will slowly subside, and you will understand what is the purpose of your life. Just like in a mirror, when it is fully covered by dust, you cannot see yourself. Whereas when you clean the mirror, you can see yourself. That's what happens when you start chanting Hare Krishna mantra. When you start chanting Hare Krishna mantra, you can see yourself clearly that you are not this body, your spirit soul. Cheto darpana marjanam. Then after that, what happens? The real problem of this material world, bhava maha davagni nirvapanam, the real problem of this material world in which we are struggling life after life, is extinguished. What is the real problem? Prabhupada explained. Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna says, our real problem is Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Vyadhi, Dukkha, Doshanu, Darshan. Birth, death, disease, old age. Like this, we are going on life after life, taking different bodies and continue to undergo these problems every life. So the solution to these problems is what is the purpose of human life. Now the solution is very simple. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is offering, chant Hare Krishna mantra every day. Then this cycle of birth and death will be stopped. But people are so much callous with regard to following this. They think, what is this? No problem, we're going to die one day. Prabhupada gives the example of how a goat is about to be slaughtered. He's not even bothered that his brother goat is getting slaughtered, and he's happily munching grass. We are totally becoming so indifferent to the problems of life, as though this problem is not for me. Right? This is the present situation. So this is because of our dense ignorance covering our understanding. Because we are not chanting Hare Krishna, we are not following the principle of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, what he has given of chanting. That ignorance is covering our heart. We're thinking, oh, nothing, no problem. Right? So this was the discussion. We concluded last session. We'll continue from there. Prabhupada further is giving a very nice understanding on this point to further make us understand what is that real problem we have in our present situation. We all think, I shall live forever. There's a nice instance from Mahabharata, wherein Yaksha once asked Yudhisthira Maharaj a question. What is the most wonderful thing in this world? Can you explain? So for this, Yudhisthira Maharaj replied, yes, the most wonderful thing is that at every moment, one can see that his friends, his fathers, and his relatives have died, but he is thinking, I shall live forever. This is the problem. Right? So, when Yudhisthira Maharaj was asked, what is the most wonderful thing? He asked, what is the, which is very astonishing thing. Yudhisthira Maharaj said, every moment there are many, many living entities dying, going to Yamaloka. But I think I am not going to die. I have personally seen my father has died, my grandfather has died, my relatives have died, my friend has died, but I always think I live forever. It's the biggest illusion we are living in. I shall live forever. Right? Chanakya Pandita says, Smara Nitya Anityatam. If you are really learned, intelligent, should always think that my life is going to end any moment. Smara Nitya Anityatam. That's how our life is. But if you foolishly think that, oh, I'm not going to die, that is because of our lack of understanding about the reality of life. And the naked truth of life, we are covering ourselves, our eyes. That is the problem. That is because we are engrossed in so much of gratification of our senses that our intelligence has become dull. Right? No, it's not working at all with regard to what is going on in my life. Krishna very clearly says, Dukkhalaya Ashashvata. This world is full of problems and it is temporary. But I don't even see this. I think, I'll have a nice business, I'll make a big establishment, I'll make this much money, as though you're going to enjoy money forever. As though whatever empire you have built with regard to your whole business, that is going to be forever with you. Right? People speak philosophy. Oh, we're going to die one day. Just like, it is a very nice example is given in scriptures. When somebody dies, dear and near ones, we mourn. We observe mourning for some times. And that philosophical understanding comes. So what is the use? We're going to die one day. We have come empty-handed. We're going to go empty-handed. So what is the use of earning so much money? We have to leave one day. But after attending the funeral ceremony, that day, you come back home and begin again your same thinking. Oh, that business, this business, running around everywhere. This is called Smashana Vairagya. Smashana Vairagya means, for that moment, you feel, what is life, over. It's like, you see one of your friends, maybe met with an accident, passed away. So yesterday I was speaking to him. He passed away. Then at least for some time, for a day or two, you'll be thinking, oh, what happened? My life was going to end one day. After that, you become normal. One more nice example is given in Bhagavatam. Very wonderful. These are all examples which is going to strike us. It has to actually shake us up and awaken us. It's like when you have a very serious, some health problem, and doctor has recommended for you to go through a surgery. Serious health problem you have, maybe piles or something like that. Sometimes doctor says, so painful, doctor, please relieve me this pain. Doctor says, yes, go through a surgery. Surgery is even more painful. In that time you promise, I will not get into any such, problem with regard to piles or other things next time because much painful it is. Surgery is over. Again, you become normal, healthy. Again, you go on, normal. One more example is given in Bhagavatam. It's all nice examples. A woman, she becomes pregnant for the first time and she's delivering a baby. Now, every mother knows how much it is. It's like, you'll be again, like you're dead and you're again born. So much it is painful, labor pain. She thinks, never again I'll become pregnant. But after the child is born, everything is forgotten again. This is how our life is. So Bhagavatam says, life after life, we have been suffering, going through so, intense pains, but we forget everything. And we think as though life is going on very well. I live forever. This is the biggest illusion Maya is creating in our minds. Just see. This is what is called dense darkness, or the contamination in our heart. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, by chanting Hare Krishna, you have to purify your heart. This contamination of I'm going to live forever, this wrong conceptions, wrong perceptions about life, false, enjoyment perception sitting in our mind should go away. Should know what is the reality of life. That's the point. So, this is what Mahabharata, Yudhisthira Maharaj is telling us. This is the most wonderful thing. Everybody thinks, I am going to live forever. But it's not a fact. He never thinks that he will die, just as an animal never thinks that at the next moment he may be slaughtered. He is satisfied with the grass, that's all. So we are also become like animals in our thinking. Oh, over, what to do? He's died, I will not die. That is how everybody is thinking. He is satisfied with the sense gratification. That's all. Going on. Business goes on. Sense gratification, business goes on. That is what our present situation is. He does not know that he is also going to die. As sure as death. But I'll go on. Means our intelligence has become so dull. So what is the sum and substance of all problems? Prabhupada very nicely explains. My father has died. My mother has died. He has died. She has died. I'll also have to die. It's a fact. Death is certain. Right? This, to realize this, to get this realization, is the problem. Right? We are in such a ignorant way of life that we don't realize this point. Right? We have seen practically. That's why Bhagavatam says, Apashyatam Atma Tattvam Griheshu Griha Medhina. Says, you have become so blinded, even though the facts are right in front of your eyes, you are blinded so much that you cannot see. Why? Because Griheshu Griha Medhina. You are so absorbed, engrossed in the matter of gratification of your senses. Right? Prahlad Maharaj also says this. Adanta Govir Vishatam Tavishram Matirna Krishne Parato Satova. The problem with us is we may know some things, but we are not following. We don't know, we don't want to hear from others. Good instructions, what is the purpose of life? And we are going on. Our whole life, so situation is such that we just want to go on enjoying our senses unrestrictedly without any, thinking of what is going to be my future. Such a very irresponsible, careless life, mostly people are living. They think earn money, enjoy senses. Just like the atheistic theory or the hedonism right now going on. Eat, drink, and be merry. Who has seen the next life? Right? This is the hedonism or the atheistic type of mentality everybody is going on. Right? This type of understanding mentality is not going to save, which means you don't even know what is the welfare, your own welfare, what I'm supposed to be doing. So the facts of life have to be understood with a proper sense. For that, you have to follow the process of chanting. Then what is after death? I do not know. That is the problem. Nobody knows what is going to happen after death. Everybody is in dense darkness. No scientific advancement, no philosophical discussion, no political agenda or meetings. We can give this solution to us. What is going to happen after death? While living, you want to solve all the problems. Current problem, water problem, rain problem, so many problems. But real problem, nobody's addressing, right? People do not take this problem seriously, but the Bhagavad Gita indicates that is the real education. Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Vyadhi, Dukh, Doshanu, Darshanam. Darshana means philosophy, the real philosophy. Philosophy means searching after truth, actual truth. Right? Philosophizing means not speculation. What is the truth? What is the truth? What is the final solution for this? That is what human beings supposed to be searching for, philosophizing about life. But we are just busy doing so many other activities that we don't know what is going to happen to me. So we become so degraded in our consciousness. So further, Prabhupada explains, real education is to inquire why. Although we do not want to die, death comes. That is real inquiry. Human life actually begins when you start inquiring like this. That is called jigyasa, right? This is called real education. Our modern education is just training us how to go on with your life, lead a life. But what is this life going to end one day? What is the solution for this? Prabhupada always was telling this. There are so many universities across the world, but nobody is teaching this real understanding, real knowledge that what is going to happen to us after we die. We don't want to die, but death comes. Similarly, we do not want to become old men. Old age is forced upon us. The conditions of old age, disease, death is just forced upon us. Why? We have many problems, but this is the sum and substance of all of them. You analyze human society, which is organized itself in so many ways, with having hospitals or police stations, so many things. Why? Because we have this main problem of birth, old age, disease, death. To solve this problem, we are trying to invent many things, discover many things, but that is not solving the problem. That is the problem. Sum and substance of all problems, which Prabhupada is telling us so nicely here. So then, how to solve this problem and what is liberation? Prabhupada explains. What is Brahma Bhuta? In order to solve this problem of repeated birth and death, old age and disease, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is prescribing the chanting of Hare Krishna. Just such a simple process it is. Just you have to chant Hare Krishna. No expenditure, no tax. In anything you do nowadays, so much tax you have to pay. You put 1 liter of petrol in your vehicle, you have to pay tax. Tax is already taken, that money what you pay. But anything you do, you have to pay. Expenditure is there. But chanting Hare Krishna, no expenditure, no tax, no hard struggle. You have to vibrate Hare Krishna mantra. That's all. And hear what you are chanting. So this is the solution. And this is going to solve the problem of birth, death, old age, disease. This is the meaning of the word mantra. Mantra means mana trayate. Mind delivered from all these misconceptions, wrong understandings, and so many, the false conceptions that, I am going to be happy like this. The sense gratificatory, false, egoistic understanding is going on in the mind. It's called Kama Sankalpas in Bhagavad Gita. We have decided this is the way I'm going to lead life. This is the way I'm going to become happy. Like this, so many wrong perceptions and convictions were going on. We have to change these perceptions, convictions, our emotions to the right way by chanting Hare Krishna mantra. So the problem is repeated birth and death, old age, disease, and solution is chanting Hare Krishna mantra. As soon as our heart is cleansed by chanting this Hare Krishna mantra, the blazing fire of our problematic material existence is extinguished. This is what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says. Cheto darpana marjanam bhava mahadavagni nirvapanam. The blazing fire. Our heart is day and night burning with many, many plans, desires, and big schemes. I'll do this, I'll do that, I'm going to become happy like this. is constantly burning like a blazing fire. So all this blazing fire of our problematic existence will be extinguished when you start chanting Hare Krishna. You know, what is the purpose of life? What I'm supposed to be doing? All that will be very clear to you, clear to us. And how it is extinguished? When we cleanse our heart, we realize that we do not belong to this material world. See, this is the Shikshashtaka, first verse Prabhupada is explaining, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's. And this is because our heart becomes clean, clear. We know what is the purpose of life. Right now, we don't have clarity, because of which we are running here and there doing so many wrong things. We realize that we are actually spirit souls. We belong to the spiritual world. Right now, people are misidentifying with the material world and thinking, I belong to this country, I'm an Indian, I'm Englishman, I'm this and that. In fact, this particular series of understandings we're having in our sessions, this actual lecture Prabhupada has given in London, Conway Hall in 1969. Prabhupada had a very wonderful quality of relating with the people in whichever country he's speaking. Right? So his Prabhupada is telling, I'm not Indian, I'm not Englishman, because Prabhupada is speaking in England. Right? And he's giving this lecture in 1969 about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Just see, they're all Westerners there, Europeans. They're hearing about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's great philosophy. And Prabhupada was like this, traveling across the world in different parts and giving this understanding in a very, very simple, easily followable way. I am not Indian, I am not Englishman, like this. Misconceptions, misidentification, wrong understanding. It's called bodily conception of life is going on. Now, basically, I am not this, I am not that, I'm spirit soul. Aham Brahmasmi. So if one chants the Hare Krishna mantra, he will realize that he is not this material body. Is the first realization you're going to have. When you are not the material body, then why you are struggling and suffering so much? The material world, doing so many things. I do not belong to this material body or this material world. I am a spirit soul, part and parcel of the Supreme. I am eternally related with Him, and I have nothing to do with the material world. This is called liberation. Just see, chanting Hare Krishna mantra, you are immediately liberated, because this knowledge Krishna is going to give by chanting. What happens is that Krishna is the source of all knowledge, all happiness, and complete spiritual existence, eternal existence. When you touch Krishna by chanting Hare Krishna, what happens? The Satchidananda energy, or the energy of eternity, energy of knowledge, energy of bliss, Ananda, flows in us. It's like this. When you connect yourself with a high voltage line, the energy flows from there to the low voltage the line, right? Likewise, right now we are so much struggling in the material world, going on in the cycle of birth and death. When you come in touch with Krishna by chanting Hare Krishna, chanting Hare Krishna means you're associating with Krishna. And associating with Krishna means you're associating with the ocean of unlimited existence, knowledge and bliss. So this knowledge dawns upon us when you chant Hare Krishna. It is awakened. Our Atma, our knowledge is awakened in our heart. Okay. So further, Prabhupada explains that I don't have anything to do with this material world, then I am liberated. And that knowledge is called Brahma Bhuta knowledge. Jiva Bhuta, Brahma Bhuta. Jiva Bhuta means you are so engrossed in the material world, thinking I am this body. I have to, my bodily connections are mine. I have to work hard to maintain my body. And I have this plan, that plans, like this Jiva Bhuta. It's called Jiva Bhuta. Brahma Bhuta means, I am not this body, I am Brahman. Brahman means spirit. I have got this body as a dress. It's incidental, circumstantial. Right? So Krishna recommends in Bhagavad Gita, Brahma Bhuta Prasannatma. When you come to the spiritual understanding, then you are actually coming to the real happiness stage. In the material world, happiness is flickering. And it is just a sense of happiness in our mind only. It's a concoction. Whereas the real platform of happiness is experienced on the spiritual platform. a spirit soul. Brahma Bhuta Prasannatma na sochati na kamshati. Krishna says. When you come to the spiritual platform, you're always happy, blissful, and you don't have any hankering, you don't have any lamentation. Material world, people are hankering for what they don't have, and they're lamenting for what they have lost. That is what the material world is, material life is. Oh, I have lost this, I have lost that, always crying. Or didn't this happen, that didn't happen. Or I want this, running after that. Whereas spiritual life means no more material hankering, material lamentation, but you're hankering for Krishna, Krishna's service. You're lamenting for not getting Krishna's mercy. See, same thing is there, but it is in a different platform. And you're always experiencing spiritual happiness, spiritual bliss. That feeling of freedom is there when you come to this Brahma Bhuta stage. That is, by chanting Hare Krishna, you feel happiness. So, Prabhupada further gives one more nice concept. How to liquidate our debts. So, a person with this realization of Brahma Bhuta, that is, I am spirit soul, I am not this body, he has no duty to perform actually. And whatever he is doing is only incidental, circumstantial for this particular situation. Right? He has no other obligations in one sense. Prabhupada says, because we are now identifying our existence with the material world, we think, oh, I have this duty, this responsibility, that I have to do, this I have to do. Like this, we are engrossed in so many duties. The Srimad Bhagavatam says that as long as there is no self-realization, we have so many duties and debts. Right? If you analyze your consciousness now, body, you'll be thinking that, this, that, so many things is going on in your mind, consciousness. Right? Background mind. Because we think identifying ourselves with body. Just for some time, if you think, I am no more in this body now, then automatically all those things, what you're thinking, has no connection, has no meaning. It's like this life is like a, it's a material, one story we have created in the mind. It's a bubble-like story we have created. The bubble bursts over, story go over. This whole life, what you're thinking, that this responsibility, this duty, this debt I have, this, everything over. Right? Whatever debts you have done, whatever you have duties, is one moment it is finished. That is what our life is. Bhagavatam says, as long as you identify with one particular body, you think, there is so many things you think. Where in one sense, Bhagavatam says, as long as you're living, if you are not self-realized, that is, you're not come to the Brahma Bhuta platform, you are supposed to be paying debts to Devatas. And these Devatas are not fictitious, they are real. And it is said, just like the sun is giving you sunlight. Sun is not giving you a bill. Okay? This month, this much sunshine you have consumed, pay this bill. Right? Whereas mobile you are using, every month bill will come. If you don't pay bill, what happens? Disconnect. Power, current supply in your house. No bill paid, immediately cut. Anything what you take service from anybody, you have to pay. And there are Devatas who are supplying so many things for our existence. Just like the sun is supplying so much of heat and light for us every day. The moon is supplying moonshine, because of which the vegetables are nourished. The Vayu Devata is giving you air. If there is no air, you will be suffocated. Indra is supplying rains. If you like this, the 33 crore Devatas are actually maintaining us. And nobody is giving us any bill. In one sense, we are having so many debts towards them. Devatas, Rishis, the great sages have given us so many Vedic literatures for our spiritual path, and we are taking advantage of them. How are you, paying that? How are you paying returns for them? How are you clearing the debts for them? You're obligated for that. Deva, Rishi, Bhuta. Bhuta means there are so many living entities. Just like from cow, you take milk. You may say, oh, I'm paying the money to the cowman who is being as milk. But what about the cow itself? You may pay some money, some value. And there's honey from the honeybees. And maybe there are some pets in your house just serving you. So like this, so many living entities around us who are helping us or rather serving us. We are indebted to them. Deva, Rishi, Bhuta, Apta. Apta means your relatives. Basically, you are in a family. You have got your family life, and you have got, say, your parents. From your parents, you are born, and you are indebted to the parents, your grandparents, your whole family like this. And there are so many other relatives who are all part of your family. You're indebted to them in many ways. Deva, Rishi, Bhuta, Apta, Nunam, and so many other human beings around you. There is so many services. Just like somebody is coming and cleaning your place every day outside your house. So you may think, oh, I'm paying, but so many things doesn't happen. Then a policeman standing and traffic police and directing the vehicles moving properly. Service. So many common people and the forefathers in your family. Like this, we are indebted to many, many things. If you go on like this, there is we are supposed to go on paying debts, because when you take service from somebody, you have to pay. But we are not doing any of those things right now. We are totally engrossed in sense gratification. So Bhagavatam says, in one sense, we are indebted. Our debts are increasing so much. It's like the demigods controlling the sun, the moon, the air. We just now discussed. And there are directors of government departments. So like that only, there is heating department, there is sun god, air department, there is Vayu. There are different departmental devatas. There are 33 crore departments are there. Right? Crore devatas are there. Who are all supplying different things for our proper living here. In the Vedas, they are described as controlling deities, so we cannot neglect them. Also, there are great sages and philosophers who has given us knowledge, and we are indebted to them. Right? Deva, Rishi. As soon as we take birth, we are indebted to so many living entities, but it is impossible to liquidate all these debts. Just now discussed. Deva, Rishi, Bhuta, Apta, Ninam, Pitranam. Like this, we are indebted to many, many entities around us. Therefore, the Vedic literature recommends that one take shelter of the lotus feet of Krishna. There is a nice statement in the Bhagavatam which says, when you take shelter of Krishna, all these debts are nullified. You become clear of all these debts. Why? Because Krishna is the source of all these various manifestations. Devatas, Rishis, so many living entities around us, our forefathers, our relatives, other human beings, all are emanating from Krishna. Just like when you water the root of a tree, automatically the branches, twigs, leaves, fruits, every part of the tree is nourished. Likewise, when you surrender to Krishna, and how do you surrender to Krishna in Kali Yuga? Just chanting Hare Krishna means you are surrendered to Krishna. If you do this, automatically all your debts are cleared. As long as your debts are there, you have to go on taking birth again and again. This is the understanding which Bhagavatam gives us. Very wonderful understanding. So Vedic literatures recommend that you take shelter of Krishna, Mukunda. Mukunda means one who can give you liberation from this material world. And Krishna says, if one takes shelter of me, then he doesn't have to take shelter of anyone else, because he is the source of everything and everyone. So that's why Prabhupada concludes this wonderful lecture by telling, Krishna consciousness is the most sublime religion. Therefore, those who are Krishna conscious devotees have taken shelter of Krishna, and the beginning is hearing and chanting. How do you follow the Krishna conscious process? Just chanting, hearing about Krishna, Vishnu. So our fervent, humble request is that everyone should accept this chanting. That's all. The movement of Krishna consciousness was introduced by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu 500 years ago in Bengal. And now all over India and especially in Bengal, there are millions of followers of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Prabhupada is further explaining. Now this movement is started in Western countries also. So just be serious in understanding it. Just understand. Movement has started just 3 years back, in one sense, 1966. Now Prabhupada started the movement in just 3 years now. In 1969, Prabhupada is in London already. So Prabhupada is requesting, appealing to everybody there, just be serious, understanding what we are doing here. We do not criticize any other religion. Don't take it in that way. We have no business criticizing any other process of religion. Prabhupada is again clarifying. But we don't want to say that your religion is bad, what we are telling you is good. No, we are not in that mood of criticizing any following. We are trying to tell you that Krishna consciousness is giving people the most sublime religion, that is love of God. That's all. We are teaching only this love of God. Everyone is already loving, but that love is misplaced. And right now, what we are doing is that our propensity to love God is there. That propensity to love God is being misplaced by loving so many things around us. A nice example Prabhupada gives. We love this boy or this girl or this country or that society or even the cats and dogs, but we are not satisfied. So we must place our love in God. In one place, if one places one's love in God, then he will be happy. This is what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mission is. So Prabhupada concludes, don't think that this Krishna conscious movement is a new type of religion. Where is the religion that does not recognize God? Every religion means you have to recognize God. One may call God as Allah or Krishna or something else. But there is no religion which doesn't recognize God. So Prabhupada says we are trying to teach that we should simply love God. That's all. That's what we are trying to teach. Whatever God you are following, you follow, but try to develop love of God. We are attracted by so many things, but if our love is reposed in God, then we will be happy. This is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mission. Right? We don't have to learn to love anything else. Everything else is automatically included in love of God. Just love Krishna, everything and everyone you start loving. Just try to love God. Don't try to love just trees or plants or insects. This will never satisfy you. Just learn to love God, and that is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mission. That is our mission. Okay. Just with this, we conclude the teachings of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. What is the mission of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? Very wonderful conclusion Prabhupada gives. So I conclude this session. I take a little more minutes time today because I wanted to cover the whole, give a complete understanding of what we have so far understood and also conclude it. So any questions, any comments?
Prabhuji,
Hare Krishna. Yes, Guptaji.
Today's session was really very interesting.
Okay.
It clarified it rather linked a lot of things together, which we were knowing bits and bits. But today's session, linked everything, and a very, very, very meaningful session today. It's very elaborating and great things to learn. Thank you.
Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mercy, Prabhupada's mercy. He has given us everything is there. Just you have to,
right.
read it and move forward. That's all. Very clear.
Very true.
Right? In one chapter, see in this book, one chapter, Prabhupada's teachings are there. One of the chapters, such a nice truth is there. And Prabhupada has spoken this 1969 in London. His truth. So
and 30 crores Devi Devtas.
33 crores.
33 crores. So and each demigod is responsible for one activity of our which is required for our survival.
Exactly. See, not
so that
our survival and the maintenance of the whole world.
Oh yeah.
And various activities going on in the universe, whole universe. They are taking care.
It implies for our survival.
Yes.
Everybody's survival. 33 crores activities are involved.
It's like
which takes place simultaneously, and without our realizing that.
Yeah, see, means You have to understand what is all going on. Just like when you get a plate of nice, wonderful meal in front of you, to understand behind that so much of efforts is there. Somebody has gone to market to purchase vegetables, ingredients, and somebody has cooked it nicely and then given you, served you. And where the ingredients are coming? Again, Krishna says in Gita, it is all coming by rains. And rains is given to Devatas. That is a cycle.
Very true.
To understand the whole background of everything, then you appreciate it when you value it, basically.
Very true.
Otherwise, we'll be like, nothing, just you see, don't realize the important.
We have to inculcate the habit of, expressing our gratitude for everything which we are receiving. That is it.
So the background mind should have a very nice understanding, proper understanding, the facts, truths. Then you appreciate it when you see that or when you hear about it.
Very true.
It will not strike you at all.
Very true. We take it for granted that this is bound to happen.
Nice. Thank you.
Thank
Fine.
you.
Any other questions? We'll close now. Fine. So we have covered a very, wonderful topic on Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Actually, it has taken almost 6 weeks for me to cover this topic. I've taken it in a very, small aspect so that we understand things clearly, nicely. That was the thing.
Very
So we'll